Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you Mount Gambier. Mount Gambier, this is a way to go there, or right now we're going back to Adelaide. These are the firewood plantations. The firewood is used for furniture and to build houses, and these are grown for industries and businesses. They have taken up a lot of room for my thought. They take up about 100 kilometers. Just the way from Adelaide to there is 400 kilometers, but on the way about 60%, I reckon, you will find these. They're tall trees growing up to about 8 to 9, sometimes even 11 meters. And I mean, they have roots inside them to go inside them, but I mean, they're really dark inside. I haven't been inside there, but it will be dark. And trust me, go to the end of the video if you want to see the best bit, the endangered species part 2. Okay guys, now this is the baby trees of those. They're pretty tiny, about as big as your arm, your whole arm, depending on which one you're looking at. Now, did you just see the comparison between the babies and the adults? It's a big difference. I mean, the temperature, it was pretty decent, pretty rainy, but because it's winter here in Australia, and there are loads of signs. Take breaks while you are driving. I don't think you should drive without taking breaks, because the drive would be dangerous, and actually, I know, but the drive actually is really tiring. You could come from Melbourne, but that would take about 5 or 6 hours, I reckon. And I mean, the view, you can go from the Great Ocean view. You could go to Adelaide from the Great Ocean view. You can go from a majority of ways to see the place, and I mean, it's a nice looking place, and it might not have that many stuff on the drive, but when you look there are, trust me, about 500 caves. Yeah, I just said 500 caves. There are many caves there, and the caves are pretty big. You have to pay like $15 to $18, no, about $9 to $12 if you're an adult and you want to go inside. For a family, it's $49, but I didn't want to go. And another thing, there are so many sinkholes and stuff, and they're really beautiful. Now at the end, you'll see it's a sinkhole named Utherson Sinkhole. I recommend you going there. And the view, what you'll expect on the way, it's first, like if you're going from Adelaide to there, it's like a city looking area, and then you go through up into the mountains through a tunnel. Then you go, the tunnel isn't really that big, only about 400 meters, I reckon, a little bit more. And then the speed of the car when you're driving is anywhere from 60 to 120. But it's pretty much a free road. Overtaking lanes are there, and the trees, what you'll mainly see, eucalyptus trees. That's Australia's biggest trees, and the most common. You'll find these a lot because they are native. They're native to Australia and like some other place in America. I'm not exactly sure, but those are totally different ones. Okay, so this is another firwood plantation, and they have like they have it like one with the tiny trees and one with the bigger trees. And on the drive, you have to be careful. You know why? Because there are wallabies and kangaroos. Like when I was coming back, there isn't a part about that, but I found about 7 dead kangaroos and wallabies. It's really sad to see the dead kangaroos and wallabies because they're already near threatened or endangered. So people should be careful, and if you go there, please watch out for the kangaroos and the wombats, and yeah, because here you can't really find any of the animals which you'll find in you'll find in like let's say Europe. You won't find those. Those are really common. You can look at Asia, you can look at stuff, and you'll find this animal from here to there. But in Australia, if you look at an animal, trust me, it will only have about 500 square kilometers. That's just one species. Some and they're really hard to find. A bearded dragon is one of my favorite animals. A male needs 3.53 hectares. Just one. Like that is really iconic. That's the only thing I can use to describe it. And I mean, you'll find a lot of cows and a lot of sheep, chicken, sometimes chickens, but not always, because this kind of looks like New England. Yeah, if you're looking to New England, look at Armidale. That's a place in New South Wales. I haven't been there before, but that's also nicknamed New England. Here's another firwood plantation, but guys, trust me, only a few more minutes until this goes. And like the route, if you're looking at the tracks, if you're thinking it's safe or not, it doesn't have that many pebbles, depending on where you're going. If you're going through a scenic drive, there might be pebbles, not deep enough to poke your tires, and yeah, but you would need about a set of tires, a pair of them, on the way. We didn't need to use our pair, but yeah, just in case, because the drive is 500 kilometers, 5 hours. Sorry if I mentioned 4 hours, but I think it was definitely 502 kilometers from Adelaide. I'm sure about that. And now here, it's kind of like a jungle if you go inside, but way darker, like in Lord of the Rings. Now this place we got a little bit confused on where to go. And now we got back on route. Okay, so the place, if I was to say how many stars it would be about a 4.7 to 4.8. It's really a nice place, and the people are really friendly. Like you can go and ask them where to go, and they wouldn't even argue, they wouldn't even leave. And the people, they're nice, and like, I mean, you can't get that from anywhere else. Like if you go somewhere else, like in, let's say, a different country, you won't find any of this. I'll show you in moment. I'll show you. You can even go hiking on a volcano. Well, not one which has lava inside it. A volcano like Blue Lake, for instance. Blue Lake is a pretty beautiful place. In winter, it isn't that blue, but in summer, I recommend going to in summer, and then it will be really blue, bright blue. If you want to swim in a volcano, you can go to Little Blue Lake, which I'll show you in a few moments. Okay. I mean, it's not as dark as it is in the video, but I mean, it is not that dark. The brightness levels are pretty good. Now this is another scenic drive which I'm gonna pause in a sec. I'm gonna get out. Go. Okay, now guys, this is another Furwood place. We're gonna go through the way to Millicent's, and then at Millicent's, we go through the Ocean Drive, then we get back to Adelaide. Now you see guys, doesn't this look like England? The houses are like all farm, loads of land. There's constant amount of these trees, and even the even the sky, it looks like England. The beaches, I'll show you that in a moment. But and there are many scenic drives and many nature areas. And I'd recommend the first thing you do when you go there, go to the Mount Gambier Information Centre. First thing, don't wait, get a map and then you can go around. First place I'd recommend you to go is at Little Blue Lake, and then at night time go to Ufferson's Sinkhole. Watch the video till the end, trust me. There will be something which will be really cool. And they're really obvious, that's just a clue. And they're rare. And their name starts with a P. Okay? Now this is a boring bit. Now let's go. Now the drive, I mean, you have to be pretty patient, and it will have loads of bumps. Lots of bumps, trust me. And like, I mean, it's a nice place. If you want to live here, I mean, you could find some property. I mean, there is lots of property, but all of it is pretty much farming ground. That's the thing which, well, it is pretty good. And it has like about, how many sheep did I see? I saw about 5,000, 2,500 to 5,000. How many cows did I see? 3,000 to 7,000. There is a lot of cows. Trust me, when I went on a little bit well, I don't think I've recorded that bit, but there were colonies of cows, trust me. And nearby there's also the Murray River. The Murray River goes on from Adelaide to all the way to New South Wales. That's a big way for such, well, a river. That's a big way. I think it's like the third biggest river in the world. It's the third biggest river. And it's a really good place for fishing. And I also recommend when you go to Mount Gambier, if you go, that's if, I'd recommend you going to to Port Macdonald. That's a really good place, and I mean, it has really good fish and chips, that's for sure. And I mean, it's a good place. If you want to go there, I'd recommend you going by car, depending on where you live. And they also have an airport there. Not a big airport like a capital city airport, but I mean it's a pretty decent airport for supplies. Okay, now we're going to a new place. Did you see the sign? It said Millicent. Here's the Millicent place. And there are roads which can take you into places. There are many cable lines because now we're entering the city. Well, the town. Barely even a town, trust me. Okay, and guys, comment down below what you want me to film. Drone videos, anything. Okay, so there's one thing which is really good about this place, which stands out. One big thing. The sinkholes, the animals, and the cave. Those are the three things. Well, and the volcanoes. Those are the four things. Sorry, I said one thing, but those are the four things. Like, I'll give you one cave example. Alexandria Cave. That cave has crystals hanging crystals. I'll give you a volcano. Blue Lake. There's another one which I went hiking on, which I'll show you. And the animals. I can't spoil it for you. I'll just say magpie. The magpie and the magpie and I'll give you another clue. It's an animal which loves to live in the trees. Okay? Comment it down below. Okay? And guys, you also have to remember, on the drive, pack snacks like popcorn, because trust me, you'll get hungry. And what I mean by hungry is real hungry. Like in Minecraft. If you want to see Minecraft videos, go and watch them. Hunger level, it drops down pretty quickly. Because like when the car rumbles down, this is just my opinion, it kind of like, makes you hungry. Okay, now this is a new bit. Now you go down, did you just see the sign? 110 kilometers. This is 110. I think we might have had gone 130. But it's a free road. There's no police, trust me. No police, and there's no speeding cameras. Now here, this is a good bit. This is one of the parts of the Great Ocean. Can you see? It's a really beautiful place. It's a nice place to go and have a swim. It's like, and the ocean isn't like UK's ocean, dark, and there's sand. Australia's the one and only country which has sand on the beaches, not rocks. You step on the rocks and you cut your foot. No. Here you can go fishing for better fish, and there's like many shrubs here. The shrublands are just iconic. This is a scenic drive which we're going through right now. This is the rocky place which I told you about later in the beginning, and the waves they hit pretty hard, but I mean it splashes on the side. And now guys, this is another part of the place. It goes pretty big. This is like the corner line of the place of Australia. And it feels pretty good when you go there. You can walk on the place. I think there's an entrance somewhere close which you can go down into the beach. And I mean, the beach is alive. It has not just sand and water. Has more than sand and water. Has like sometimes if you want to go to a crab place, I've been there. It's a really good place. You take a rock and then you find a crab. 50 crabs, baby crabs, tiny ones. You go to York Peninsula. That's in the peninsula of South Australia. These, which I'm all saying, are all in South Australia. If you want to look for a good place in Australia for animals, I recommend you going to. You go to the Australia Zoo. Australia Zoo. That is held by the Irons. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's a really nice place. I've been there before. And there are Komodo dragons. When I went there, there was even a frilled-necked an eastern water dragon fight. Now you see, this is the exact place, or back then, which the rocky bits were. And I mean, we're gonna go back to drive in a sec. And now we're gonna go back here. You see? And what you'll expect from the ground, I'd probably be wearing shoes until I get to sand, because the ground is pretty gravelly, as also gravel. It's pretty spiky, the ground. And I'd also be wearing long pants until I get to the shore, because those shrubs can depending on what type, can definitely give you a spike. But not, and yeah. This place is the dock. This is in the city part of it. And the dock, and this is where you can get the fishing your boat. Sorry guys. And I mean, it's really nice place. And there's the fishing place. The jetty. You go down to the end and then you can fish pretty good fish. And it goes for about 100 and no more than 300 meters, I'm pretty sure. But well, it is pretty nice. And it just, the water, this place would be cold to swim in. So I wouldn't recommend swimming. If you want to swim, you can go over there. Can you see the sand? And the dock bay. The dock bay is right over there. And then you have to pay for putting down your boat. Like, I mean, pretty crazy. I don't know why they do that. Now you see, guys, this place is pretty good. It just, I mean, can you see back over there? The water isn't blue, it's greenish. That's actually true. That's how clean the water is. In other countries, the water would have pollution and stuff in it. This is the little blue lake. The little blue lake. Those are some people over there. And the little blue lake has rocks and it has stuff. You're not allowed to jump. This is the volcano, which I wanted to show you. And can you see, guys? Has trees inside it, has everything. I wouldn't want to go inside. It's about 500 meters deep. Now, guys, this is another part of the ocean. The ocean is pretty unique here in Australia. The tidal currents pull it from there, covering all the sand, and once it doesn't cover all the sand and just covers a tiny bit. It's a nice paddle boarding place. If you want to go paddle boarding, you put your boat and then it'll pull you with it. That's how strong it is. The water out of fishing, I would reckon 4-star out of fishing, because the fishing because the fishing, the fishing doesn't have enough fish in the ocean. Well, that's what you'd expect everywhere, so I'd give it a 4-star. This is a place which had glass leading up to a glass place, and I totally destroyed it. Yes, I destroyed it with all the rocks which are making the petals. I crushed the glass. Just felt good. Now, guys, the reveal to the animal. 3, 2, 1. Guys, what is this animal? It's the possum. And I'll show you guys. It eats food. You can feed it by hand. This was fed by hand. No joke. This was actually fed by hand. It's a nice animal because it just isn't scared of people, because the people who feed it don't scare it. That's the thing. If you don't scare an animal won't want to run away. Any animal, anything, even a budgie. Budgies are pretty intelligent. I should have said a rat. If you don't scare a rat, it won't run away. Exactly. Well, I don't like rats, if you want the truth. But guys, you see, it's not a rat. It's like a different thing from a rat, but it's a marsupial, kind of like a rat. And guys, you see, there's rainfalls near the place. There's devil's ivies right next to it. I know all of these because of botany books and stuff like that. And it's sitting on a ledge because if it wants to, it could jump in the cave. Well, even the man-made cave, because right behind it, it could jump away. Now, guys, please subscribe and bye, guys.